welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly, and if you're new here, my channel is typically about forex and fitness. But what we're going to be getting into is, I've been thinking about like maybe trying to keep it consistent with doing like a weekly review of my trades with you all. Just going over a few of the trades that I've taken throughout the week, because like I said in the last video, if you didn't catch my last video, I'll try to post it down below or pin it, whatever. But it was on my US30 trade where I got over 8,000 pips. But in that video, I was talking about how I'm thinking about trying to more visually document my journey, my trading journey. Yes, so this video is going to be going over some of the trades that I took this week or some of the ones that I'm looking at. So starting with Euro USD, this was like the first trade I took this week. As you can see here, this was one where I tried to get in. You can see I tried to get in early for this buy right here, but price dipped a bit lower before going up. Anyways, that's from what's that? The 11th? I think the 11th was last week, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, last Monday. So for Euro USD this week, looking at this setup, this was the first trade that I took this week. This was on the 20th. And this was Wednesday. This was on the 20th and this was Wednesday. So what I did simply, again, like I've really been loving incorporating the Fibonacci tool into my trading now. Still testing it out, still back testing it out, all of that. I've been doing a lot of forward testing with it. So that's what you see in the last video, as well as this current video, as well as the 3 trade setups that I'm going to be going over that or trades that I've been looking at this week or that I took this week. So with this one here, no different. I took, I'm on the 4-hour right now, but I went from the swing low to the swing high. That's how I set up my Fibonacci. And then at this 50% retracement right here, which you can see is right at structure for where the previous high was, which is why I say like, I don't typically care to use the Fibonacci tool, but for my trading style, honestly, it just makes it just a little bit easier because it is already pointing out things that I do use. Like when you're using the fib tool, where price retraces to is typically at a previous high. Like you can definitely see that. But yeah, so anyways, what I did was, since I know that that's where price was going to go, I took my entry right at that 50% retracement. Now let me go down to the 15-minute. And you can see going into this area here where that entry was taken, price was treated as resistance 1, 2, 3 times. You can also see that this is a weekly key level. So again, like you can see like the fib tool, it's not even necessarily needed for trading, but it does just make it just, it's like it's a tool. It's a tool. It makes it easier for things that you already be looking at least for when it comes to my trading style, when because of the way that I use market structure for my trading anyway. And so that's what I did. Took the entry right here at the 50, where you can see I definitely could have taken it at that weekly key level instead that I have, but took this up for the 48 pips. I think it was actually 2 pips beneath there because I remember closing out at like 65 or something like that. But it was around a 1-2, closer to 1-3 risk reward ratio, 17 pip risk, darn near 0 drawdown. But let me actually count how many pips that drawdown is. Yeah, 4 pip drawdown, 4 pip drawdown for, like I said, that 45 or so pips that I did get from this trade. So that, like I said, that was the first trade of the week. So going into the next trade that I took this week, that was with US30. Y'all know I've been loving US30. I've always loved US30, but I've really been loving on US30 over the past couple of months. So US30, easy call. We were in an uptrend. This one is the one from last week, the trade that I called last week, or not called last week, the trade that I took last week. And for this week, this one was taken on the 20th as well. You can see the time down below. It says 1:30, which since I'm in Central Time, that was actually 12:30 my time when I was tapped into this trade. You see, I did get a bit of drawdown. Let's see how much. So about 26-point drawdown. But this trade was almost 1-to-5 risk reward ratio, which you can see it's 1 to 4.9 risk reward ratio, which it's It's good. It's good. Or good for me, at least for my trading personally. So where we were with this trade for why I took it, we were in this uptrend. And yeah, what I was doing was just capitalizing off of the rest of, or what I think is the rest of the uptrend before we get like possibly a deeper retracement. Possibly. Only because now we can see price has created a new higher high or a new all-time high. And we can see that this is the current area of resistance right here. Price has already touched this once, price has touched this twice. And the reason why I took this trade up to this area is because before price came up to this point, this was the previous all-time high that price was heading toward. So when I got into the trade, all I did was take from this swing, well, with the fib, take from the swing low to the swing high in this area. And once price came back down into this 50% area, and I was talking about it on Instagram where I knew I should have waited for a pair like US30. I like to wait for it to come into the 60% area or 61% area, my bad, and take the trade from there. Because you can see from there, that would have been a lot more minimal drawdown. So that is, I mean, that's pretty much it for this trade. That was why I took it from here. And I didn't close out at the 27. The reason I took it up to this area is because, like I said, let me go back to the 4-hour. This area was the previous all-time high. When we zoom out, this was the all-time high for US30. So that was the highest resistance point US30 has ever come to. So me capitalizing off of what I thought was left of this bullish push to the upside, before we get some sort of deeper retracement, that's why I took price only up to that area of resistance instead of taking it a bit further, which we can see price did go. But I wouldn't have had any way of knowing that. And I like to close off my trades once my trades are done. That's just my personal trading style. So got that one for 179 points or 1,700 pips. And that was my US30 trade from Wednesday. Now going into a live trade that I'm currently in is GBPJPY. So GBPJPY, I'm waiting on this reversal. So with GBPJPY, we're at a high that price hasn't been near in a while. And I say in a while because I believe if I go even further to the left, which I'm not going to do, or I mean, I can, it's just not a part of like what I was looking at. Last time price was this high was in 2016. So since we got a lot of bullish momentum last week or over the past 2 weeks, or actually since the beginning of October, GJ has been moving bullish. It's been giving bull movement. You see, I'm on the daily time frame. And previous day, we get this engulfing at the top here. And when I go down to the 4-hour, what we can see here is a double top. So double top, price touching this area of resistance twice. It can probably more clearly be seen on the 1-hour. You can see price touching this area of resistance twice, right? So second time we get that touch, we get that rejection. Price pushes lower than the previous low, which was this area here. It comes back down to this area that is the reason why I'm a little bit, or I was a little bit hesitant with this trade is because this area could have been considered as an area of support that price did trade into. So I've been keeping my eye on that. But as you can see, I'm already like 50% into profit for this trade. The reason why I took this trade, like I said, double top, I've been waiting for, since we got all of that bullish momentum, for price to give us some sort of reversal or retracement. I've been keeping my eye out for that reversal. So like I said, double top, price created this low, which was lower than this previous low. We get, I think it's more clear if I go to the 2-hour. So what this would look like here is a break and retest of the neckline of this M formation, which you can see price trading off of now. And it's really pushing as I'm here live reporting this too. So I entered at 157.55 and I'm currently about 40 pips in profit, if I'm doing the math right. Yeah, I'm doing the math right. So yeah, currently around 40 pips in profit with this trade right now. So I'm I'm good. And I'm only taking it here because of what I mentioned about previous structure over to our left here. So it can, to be honest, price can be, I mean, like I could possibly take this trade down to here, but I just don't necessarily want to, given two things. It's going into the end of the week. And also we're in an uptrend. So I don't want to, stand 10 toes holding a sell in an uptrend, even though, it can be reasonable to do so. It definitely can be reasonable to do so. But for what I'd like to do here with GJ, not at the moment. I want to see a bit more, a bit more push for a stronger reversal before it, and getting in on another good retracement point. Like that's something that I personally would just do. So that is it for 3 different trades that I've taken this week. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with this week. There hasn't been any L's. And I'm just holding on to my last trade to see if we can make it down to this point here. I took price from this high point, the swing high, to this swing low, and price retraced into the 61% area, which I prefer to see rejection at. Like we can see price did give us rejection here, 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 even at this point right here. So price has rejected from this area coming down to this point where I am planning to take profits at, which is what I'm waiting for. We got a lot of wick rejection here, which was my signal for entry. Like I wanted to get in a bit higher here around 67 versus around 55. But I saw this wick rejection and didn't necessarily think price was going to give us another touch at that 157.67 area. So that's why I did enter when I did. And I mean, price pushed right from the time I entered. So it was like I feel comfortable with having made that call. And yes, something else I was looking at also, which again, like I'm talking about this in real time, like my thought process and everything for this trade was, so I was looking at on this 15-minute, we do see that we have like this head and shoulders pattern. Head and shoulders pattern typically indicates a reversal, and this would be on the 15-minute time frame. So that's a lower time frame reversal, but what it can mean in the grand scheme of things or in a larger picture could mean continuation of our overall upward trend. So yeah, just like I said, just moving cautious with this one. Already see a wick lower than this previous one. Yeah, so anyways, these are just my thoughts as I'm in this trade. I'm really not pressed or anything like that, just letting things play out. I want to really see, it's 1 a.m. my time, 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as you can see down here. And what I want to see is how price begins to act around London Open. That's what I'm really waiting for, honestly, because London Open is really when we get a push to some sort of direction. And that's what I'll say there. So yeah, that's where I'm at though right now with my trades for the week. I didn't want to make this video too long. I feel like I did talk a lot, or like I was trying to keep from rambling on a bit, but hopefully you all can learn from what I'm looking at. I know that it's easy for me to go and review my videos of past trades. So again, that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this as well, because I like to see, what was my thought process behind taking certain trades or different things like that as I continue to document my trading journey. So if you have any video ideas, like I said in the last video, drop them down below in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. It can be anything, to be honest. And I'll let you guys know whether I can or can't do it. So yeah, I hope everyone had a good trading week or has a good trading week, or I know this video is going to be up either at the close of the trading week or Saturday, something like that. I try not to hold myself too tight with the video upload commitments because I know how it gets for me. So, and like I said, my schedule has been really busy. Like ever since moving down to Texas, my schedule has been really busy, and my routine even my trading routine, it's still been kind of tough. Like it's been tough getting everything into my schedule that I need to get done in a day, with regard to businesses or planning or ideas or anything like that. So, or even work. So that's what's been, you know, on my radar, on my mind with regard to trading. And yeah, I hope to see you all in the next one. GJ is really pushing. GJ is really that girl. Okay, so yeah, we're 42 pips in profit with this one. So I'll more than likely have like an update of a screenshot of what the market does after, of what the market does for this trade, or I'll have a screenshot of how this trade played out at the end of this video. Given that, like I said, the day I uploaded it, given that the day that I upload this video, I know is not going to be Friday, before the market closes. Like I know it's not going to be anytime before the market closes. So you will see this video either Friday evening or Saturday or Sunday, something like that. And yeah, like sometime when the market closes. So I'll let you guys know how this trade plays out. I'll let you know if it was, like I can't say an L because like I said, like my profits will already be protected. It's already not going to be a losing trade, or losing by the standard of it hitting stop loss. But I'll let you know if it makes it to my take profit or if I get tapped out early from this trade, or if there are other things psychologically that I do with this trade prior to it reaching a stop, any sort of trailing stop loss or anything like that. So yes. Oh, sorry. Last thing that I want to say here is the reason why my stop loss is so big for this one is because looking at where price retraces to with regard to structure at this area and this area here, as well as this area, like I want to be able to give GJ enough time, or not enough time, but enough space to move to the downside if that's what it's going to do. And I know with GBP pairs that sometimes gets tricky, more so with GBP USD. GBP USD loves to play games. So like I wouldn't want price to come up quick at this area before pushing down if we're going to get a bigger reversal. Okay, so that's why my stop loss is a bit larger for this trade. Like I don't typically like to have a stop loss that's more than 25 to 35 pips. Like a good range for me is typically like 15, 17, 20, 15 to 20 pips for a stop loss for me personally. But if I see an opportunity where I want to give it space and can reasonably do so, then I do so. Like I don't restrict myself from a trade opportunity if I can see how something's going to play out. And that just comes with, I feel like seeing the market enough to know the characteristics of a pair or the behavior of how the market moves. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at here. But yeah, I just wanted to explain really quickly like why that stop loss was so large, because it is fairly large. As you can see, since I've been in this trade, I think my drawdown, because I got in at 55, price pushed up a little. Let me go down to the 5-minute time frame. When I did get in, I believe price pushed up a little to like 57. So that's like 2 pip drawdown. You know, like it's not anything I'm worried about here. Like I'm good here as far as I'm concerned, at least. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. And I hopefully will see you all in next week's video. I'm saying next week so confidently, like I can really push out these consistently. I think I can. I think I can. I mean, like I said, like my motivation is just to be able to consistently document my journey via video form instead of on paper, or not literal paper, because I document my trades in Evernote. Like that's where I journal my trades. But you know, not everyone feels like always looking at like screenshots in your trading journal or anything like that. And you know, a lot of the times like things can be very similar, or it starts to feel like the same or anything like that, which isn't bad either. But just to keep track of your trading, journaling definitely helps. So whether it be you documenting your trading via a journal where you're typing it, physically writing it, or via video, any of it helps. So yeah, that's really all I have to say. This video was trailing, but that's all I have to say. We're in the profits with GJ, and I'm happy with it. I'm about to no, I'm not changing my stop loss. I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna be watching so that I can make a judgment call myself. But I'm not changing my stop loss until I see what London session does. Because again, I don't want to, move my stop loss and get tapped out for no reason just to see price move in a bearish direction for the day. So if we look at the daily, again, previous day, we got this engulfing at the top here. So price has already created its upper wick for today. And let's see if we can continue some bearish momentum for Friday. But that's really all. And yes, I will see you all in next week's video of me talking about documenting my trading, or documenting my weekly trades.